right, welcome back. Today I want to talk to y'all about mental emotional hygiene. Okay? Now there's a lot that goes into it, and I really want to keep it brief, give you a good solid definition so that we have a reference point in our further exploration of the topic and of energy versus essence, period. Now, mental emotional hygiene is close to the heart of what energy versus essence is. We're out here trying to improve ourselves, improve our experience, develop a greater understanding of what is going on and how it affects us, and how we can affect what is going on in our lives. Okay? So, in seeking to affect our reality and establish agency and purposeful willpower and those sorts of things, I want to kind of give an outline of how I conceptualize the process. Okay, and this is the cherry on top of my hygiene series. Mental emotional hygiene is about I guess we'll start with, it's about evaluation. Okay, and what are we evaluating? Well, we're evaluating our reality. Okay, so what is reality? Reality is our perception. We're just going to keep it simple. Okay, to continue to keep it simple, what is perception? Well, perception is the signals that we receive through our senses, the feedback that we receive from the world through our senses. Okay? Now, the first step, like I said, is evaluation. So we want to evaluate what is entering our perception. What is influencing our inner self? Okay? Meaning, what is influencing how we understand our inner self? And the way we understand that part of us, the non-physical part of us, is through our mental life and our emotional conceptualization first, and then our emotional expression. Okay? So, mental emotional hygiene is about evaluation first. Understanding what's coming in. What is the input that is influencing my reality? Okay? And then from there, we want to move to filtration. Parsing out effective, efficient, productive, joyful, positive things that are coming into our perception and filtering out the negative, the debilitating, the destructive aspects of what occurs in our environment and is communicated to us by our senses. Okay? So, I have a few things that are kind of the basis of how we perceive that input, okay? And these are learned behaviors, learned reactions, actions, and there's the automatic systems that are at the base level of every person. Statistically, most people, okay? And those automatic systems, to keep it simple, once again, are survival, sex, and sustenance. What we are receiving from our environment, the feedback, the input that is registering through our senses, the sense of taste, touch, smell, hearing, our sense of sight, our sense of proprioception, our ability to sense where our hands and feet and arms and legs are within space, and our sense of intuition. All of these senses activate automatic systems to one degree or another. You can have a mild activation of a system. You can have an extreme activation of a system. But what we receive through our perception is usually going to be related to those three automatic systems: survival, sex, and sustenance. Okay? This is where we're starting, at least. This is where we're going to begin our evaluation, our monitoring of what's going on. What am I eating? How does it smell? How does it taste? How does it feel? What is actually in it? Is it nutritious? Is it giving me the minerals and vitamins and fats and carbohydrates and the balanced fuel for my body? Or is it a trick manufactured by a company to make you salivate, to make you hungry, but to leave you wanting more so that they can sell more products? In our food chain, a lot of it's designed to keep us eating, so that companies can make profits. So we keep buying it, right? Sex. Once again, companies use this. Most people have heard the saying, sex sells. And the reason why sex sells is because sexual imagery and other innuendo in commercials, in video games, in movies, pornography, Instagram, thirst traps, all of those things activate the automatic system of procreation. We're designed to duplicate ourselves, and advertisers and influencers and etc. will judo flip that natural positive instinct into sometimes a very negative outcome. Okay, pornography addiction destroys your ability to have truly fulfilling relationships, truly fulfilling sexual relationships, and intimate personal relationships. Okay, and it's using advertising and all of that to also trick our minds into buying products, to hating the way we look, and worshiping other people who are cheating to get the body that they have or the look that they have, or so on. There's a lot of like I talked about in the Trailblazers video, there's a lot of pitfalls when it comes to sex and procreation. Okay, now we talked about sustenance and we talked about sex. Survival. Now, survival is kind of the umbrella for almost everything. We have to eat, we have to procreate, and we have to be able to fight and survive physically and mentally. More and more, it's a mental battle. You need mental strength. You need to know mental judo and mental taekwondo so you can mentally kick the ass of some of these problems that we have in the world today. All right, our modern context. So, when we watch movies that have tremendous amounts of violence, when we live in neighborhoods and the countryside that has gratuitous violence without a purpose, without any constructive definition. You're not defending yourself, you're not defending your life, you're not hunting to survive. That's a negative source of activation of our survival instinct. Our automatic survival system. Okay? And that can be activated from things in our environment, anything from interpersonal disputes happening at the neighbor's house to the ones happening in our own house, very loud and kind of extreme vocalizing, so people screaming, people yelling, that can activate our fight, flight, or freeze reflex. And it's going to cause all sorts of things to go on in our brain. Chemicals are getting fired off, thoughts are racing through our brain. The system is saying, we gotta go, or we gotta jump at this problem and defeat it and fight for our lives. Okay? These systems are being activated, like I said, at one level or another every day. And because there's advertisers and there's influencers and there's pornography and fast food restaurants and the salt and sugar mixture that drives our brain crazy, we have to really evaluate. Really evaluate. And once we've kind of evaluated what's going on in our life, we can get to the more difficult part, which is filtration. Filtering out the things that we want, or out the things that we do not want any longer, and filtering in the things that we want to bring into our lives. Okay, that will be positive. Okay, this is a war, which means you'll win battles, you'll have victories in skirmishes, you'll be able to call yourself a winner in tussles and conflicts. However, the war lasts your lifetime. Okay? Evaluation, filtration. Okay? Then we get to understanding and organization. Okay? And we're organizing our lives, our physical lives, like in environmental hygiene. We're organizing the inputs, trying to control and focus as much of the input that we're receiving as possible. We're trying to realize the things that are activating those automatic systems and form our response with more purpose. Okay? And purposefulness is the goal. We want to proceed with purpose, because having a purpose brings you joy. And having a positive purpose, you can pat yourself on the back and say, I'm even more joyful because I have a purpose and it's positive. I'm walking on a positive path for me. I'm changing my life step by step, little bit by little bit, to become a more joyful, effective, efficient me. Okay? Now, all of our senses are not, we don't all have the same even level of ability to sense things. Some of our senses will be stronger than others, right? So we may have to work on building our sense of proprioception, our ability to sense where we're at in space, right? Where our limbs are at, so we have less accidents, we trip and fall less, things like that. We may have to work on distinguishing scents or smells, making sure we're seeing and we're recognizing what we're seeing, whether that's a movie or a video or something going on in the environment. And we process that and we begin to, with purpose, focus how we deal with that. Focus the emotions that these automatic systems kind of churn up within us. Okay? But this is a huge philosophy, okay? This is something that you have to work on over years to start really becoming excellent at it, okay? So get the small battles, the small wins, and celebrate yourself for them. Because like the alcoholics say, the first step is knowing that you have a problem, that something isn't right, that you can clean up your mental perceptions, your mental reactions to those perceptions, and you can have a more joyful, emotionally stable, and emotionally purposeful experience in this life. Okay, I'm gonna get into this more. There's a lot more that I want to add to this, but this has been mental emotional hygiene, and please tune in again when I drop my next video. And in the meantime, tune into yourself.